Hello and welcome back. I am on a mission. Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, I've got this. I've got it a long time ago, secondhand from a comic book store. I think I remember exactly where I got this, and he's still in business. But this, I have read this back and forth a long time ago. I haven't looked at it in a long time. But just looking through here in relation to the card game, they've really done most of these characters, but not all of them. And that's where this comes into place. So, without further ado, just showing the credits page, whoa, for just a second, to give these guys basically the credit here. Okay, let's go back to, it just says Quintessons, actually. We never saw official Quintessons in the card game. I have made 4, Inner Q and the Demicons. And people, I used to debate, someone tried to say that Quintessons had nothing to do with Unicron. The Quintessons are merciless enforcers of Unicron's will. They hunt down those who try to escape Unicron's wrath. Once the victim is captured, he is doomed. Guilty or innocent, the verdict is always the same: death. The Quintessons are composed of guards, gatekeepers, and one 5-headed judge. The Quintessons are the cruel masters of the endless legions of Sharktacons which carry out the Quintessons' verdict. They're few in number, the Sharktacons, and they're deathly afraid of them. If they should revolt, there's nothing the Quintessons could do to stop them, like what Grimlock did in the movie. Now, the movie characters are not in the main bulk of this book. They're at the very end. That was almost looks like an afterthought. They sort of kept them separate, which is interesting. So, I don't know why once they got finished doing all the main characters from the main cartoon and comics from back then, they decided to, after, what was it, Wheeljack? Oh, Windcharger. And boom, we have the movie characters. And it showed that up front in the list. I don't know why they did that. Of course, the movie comics were like 4 in number, just 1 through 4, and it was a little slightly different than the movie, but not much. Now, we cannot forget Danny Williams, who sometime last year put a request on one of my videos to do a Wreck-Gar. And I did his Wreck-Gar. I did 2 of them because the one was a copy, one was drawn right onto the card, because what I had written on the card was not exactly what he wanted, I don't think. And so I rewrote it again, and I did not even know where this book was when I'd made that card. I was looking at a figure, the newer figure of them, where you could buy Wreck-Gar and another one of the Junkions, and when one is either one is a motorcycle, the other one in robot mode can actually ride the other motorcycle, which was really neat. Kinda had his same coloring, but kinda had this guy's head, but not exactly. Had more of this kind of style head, but it wasn't Wreck-Gar's face. So I think I still have those figures. Okay, so if I do try to actually make homemade characters of official official Transformer characters instead of my own, who would I do? Looking through this book, I realized, when we've all known we don't have a broadside, they never did pipes, we never got a sea spray, we never got hoist. We got Trailbreaker, but not hoist. Huffer, Ratbat, Skids, Skylinks, Cyclonus Galvatron. I didn't put Arbulus in here, but I did put Cranix because he actually lasted a little longer in the movie than Arbulus. And then I put basically the Quintesson Judge, or the Quintessons, and I wrote down Guards, Gatekeepers, Alacon, Sharktacons, and Demicons, and Interq. Of course, I came up with these two on my own back then. Rodimus Prime, because we got a hot rod. We got two different hot rods. That's right, one's a Sentinel and one is a regular card. Scourge, Sharktacon, and Wheelie. And then I put Unicron, and I remember doing a video way back when about how to maybe do Unicron. I still don't know. I still really don't know. Now, I wrote down the protected bots up here because I don't want to stay on this too long because I don't want to spoil anything. I'm working on, instead of working on finishing coloring Cronus, which I have been slowly. There he is, way over there. Yes, that's an R2-D2 in the floor. My son just does not like putting his stuff up in his room. Whoa. In that, I'm trying to come up with a way. Let me get off of that. I don't want to spoil anything. I've been working on the Combaticons, and I have been going through this to come up with their abilities, their personalities. And when you read this, oh my gosh, when you read this, the voice actor's talent is just rushes to your head from the old G1 show. All this was done so well together. It really, really was. And okay, let me go ahead and I will do one thing. I will spoil Swindle, or my version of Swindle. Who knows what the Vector Sigma guys are going to do, or anybody else that's going to try to do stuff. And it'll probably look a lot better than my stuff. No doubt about that. And Dan and Vin and Scott are much sharper than me. I'm when it comes to gameplay and knowing how things work really well, etc., etc. So in between them, and I'll guarantee you anything, all these guys are going to come together. And I just have this weird feeling we're going to see a really big collaboration here between Blues on Attack, powered by Primus, Wreck and Rule, and Vector Sigma. Guys, I guarantee you anything, if all these guys are going to somehow come together, Zoom, Skype, something, and come up with ideas and concrete ways to not only keep the game going, but bring about possibly these characters in a real unofficial capacity. They may not be able to make money off of them. They're not, we really shouldn't be doing that. And mine are just going to be for fun, for me, just like all the other stuff you've seen me make over the past, gosh, it's been over a year. And again, since I've been doing this for a while, And when Wizards of the Coast, or maybe Hasbro, I don't know which, even though Hasbro owns them, decided to cancel the game, which is just, you can really tell that it has really bothered a lot of the fan base, that it really has. When in the middle of this COVID stuff, in the middle of all this that's going on, Wizards of the Coast has been able to really pull out and push a brand new Wizards line, Magic line of cards that are just full force. We're all about the same time as Wave 5 of this. And then earlier in the year, they also had another. So Magic has already seen like two waves come out already. We got one. And then they cancel it, saying because of the quarantine and because of lack of money. Well, when you don't market it and you don't push it and you don't get it out in more places where the toys are sold, a lot of the people that were playing this game were the old collectors that are older guys, older nerds, etc., etc. And it brought them into card games. They should have been putting these cards in with the figures, more than just a tiny little spot in with all the other cards in the card section, surrounded by 6 different waves of Magic, 4 or 5 different waves of Pokemon, and 3 different waves of Yu-Gi-Oh! and all the various and sundry other, card game section. And it didn't even do very well in the comic shops that we had either. They didn't sell out all of their Wave 1. They got no more waves after Wave 1. There's a 1 card shop that was a designated card playing shop that also does tabletop games, board games, D&D, etc., etc. And they were the ones that were actually, when I found out too late in the game, were actually carrying the game. They had all the decks. He didn't carry boosters. You could buy a box from him, but he would have to order it and whatnot. Now, Target was one of the few actual retail stores where I could go in and get a booster. Maybe get a booster. When it officially first came out, Wave 1, they actually had a standee in the toy section. Target was one of the few stores that was doing it right. Target knew what they were doing. I don't know if Hasbro told them to do it that way. Why Walmart didn't have a standee like Target had. But they had a lot of the decks. They had a ton of Metroplex decks up front in the card section. But you could buy all these boosters and I think they also had the starter booster in the standee in the back with the toys. But enough of that. I'm wasting too much time talking about what could have been and what had been and what has been, etc. So, looking through here, I started looking at characters, and I'm like, okay, is this not cool or what? And I'm getting a good view of this in case any of y'all have not seen it before. I mean, it's old artwork. And I'm actually wearing the old Lucas Brothers Unicron.com shirt from way back when I bought their accessories. See, there it is. The accessories for the old Armada Unicron way back when. And it's actually is the same picture right out of this book that's on this shirt. Except this Unicron's eyes are green. The eyes of Unicron on my shirt are red. So they did make a change. Speaking of changes. Okay. If I may, first, I want to do the Combaticons. I really liked Bruticus. I really liked the Combiners. And already his stats are higher than some of the others. Now, let's go to that. Okay, I'm trying to get some other stuff. These are stats of like some of the other Combiners or Titans, etc. Or Guardians. 730. Okay, that's full. That I forgot his name. That's the Dinobot Combiner. 6 and 35. That's attack and health. That's Minosaur and Metroplex. I think 721. Who was 7? 737. Oh goodness. I can't remember, but this is the most of the combiner stuff here. You know, health of 37, 21 is actually pretty low, 39, 56, Volcanicus, or whatever his name is, Minosaur, Metroplex. Well, I have a couple of things. Yes, we have a rat bat. Okay, here's Onslaught. You know, I was reading and going through, and their functions, if I can squeeze it in there, is going to be their, their secondary title beside their name. First appearance, Transformers number 24. Well, our max stars are 25. Well, I'm making Bruticus a 24 star character because I saw this and I'm thinking, let's make Bruticus, well, a brute. Leave him for 1 star for a possible stratagem that I'm already thinking about making also. And I was really looking at this, and what do you know? They did abilities. Bob put in abilities for all these characters. They put them in abilities for their alt modes and abilities for their bot modes for each character. And I'm like, crap, this is awesome. So looking at some of this is how I decided to try to pull and utilize their abilities for the card game. Now, I'm not exactly making them to work with each other exactly very well. I mean, there's nothing I'm gonna be able to per se create combos or whatnot, but it's going to be based on a lot of this stuff here. Trust me, some of this stuff is going to be pretty neat, and their health is slightly more than some of the other combiners that we've seen. I want him to have a really strong attack, which might be about the same as some other combiners, but his defense will definitely be lacking. But yeah, his star count is going to be 24. And I'll go ahead and say his star count is 6. I already have him at 6. And I have 2 5s and 2 4s. So, which is a total of 24. So that's how this is going to work for these guys. And I hope this does work. And I think it will. I'm not going to make a Enigma thingy or anything crazy like that. So if I just want to go flip between alt and bot between them and fight that way, I can, because I've got the feeling the way I'm already making these, I might be flipping back and forth more than I'd like. But these abilities are kind of neat. That's right. I said I was gonna spoil one character, and I haven't even drawn anything. That's another thing. Since I don't want to copy the entire likeness, I don't want to draw the whole robot. Though seeing him in a running pose like I did the antique fire truck for this guy would be pretty cool, though. But I'm going to kind of do him like waist up, and I want him pretty big to fill my card space. So, we may not see the tops of these. We may not see him from here down. So we're not going to get the whole picture. I'm going to do like this part of pretty much each character and really fill the space. So, and again, I'm probably just going to have white backgrounds like I've always had. I rarely, except for maybe a few of my boats, I did a little bit of water background. For the lighthouse, I had a bit of a background. For Copper in his alt mode, I had a little bit of a background. For the Spetabots, I had a little bit of space background. I don't do backgrounds very well. So if I was collaborating with somebody, I would at least sketch it, draw it, maybe put it in the computer for somebody else to color. And then somebody else could do the background. But I would not mind, just doing the artwork for the main character. So if I can scan anything in, we'll see. I have a scanner. It's not working as a scanner. I don't know why. If I can get it to work and somebody wants to say, hey, send us your artwork, we'll make it look good. Awesome. Let me know. That would be great. I've already gone way too long. My daughter came in here and was coming in heating up something in the microwave. I think some tea. But I'm going to have to call it night. I didn't mean to go this long, but I wanted to let you know what I'm up to. Oh crap! Let's go back here. But yeah, these are some that I've considered, and if I can finish the Combaticons after I finish Cronus, maybe I'll go on and do the Protectobots. It's very tempting, and I want Groove. I do not want Rook. I want Groove. Maybe I might do a Rook. I don't know. I didn't like the character. I don't know. And I don't even have the toy. I do have the new toys. I do have Rook, but I like the original. And then I was thinking, if I try to do any of these, they might look sketchy. They may look terrible. I might just put them in as pinned and not even color them, and just put them on a template and just let it go, just to say, hey, here's a character, here's the stats, I'm going at it. But we never got a hoist. I'd like to see a better grapple. I didn't like how grapple worked, but he might work better now that we've gotten to wave 5 with a lot of pierce and a lot of different colors. I'd like a better ratchet. I'd like another ramjet. I did not like the side swipe we got in wave 4, or was it wave 3? We never got a skids. I'd love to try to make a Skylinks, kind of like, I put duo combiner, but kind of like how we got that plane combiner from wave 3, Thunderwing. I'd like a better smoke screen. We did get a smoke screen. He and Sideswipe out of wave 3 was just ridiculous. And I think I could see smoke screen was some really neat abilities, pulling a lot of black pips. Cyclonus, I want to see Galvatron. Ooh, wait a minute. Let's fill in the gap, shall we? Yes. And if I make a Megatron, he is going to be a Walther P38 on a stupid drawing on a stupid card that can't do a stupid thing to anybody else, because it's a stupid drawing on a stupid card for a card game. Yeah. Anyway, which should have been Living Weapon Megatron. But so this is a possibility, and I really would love to make the mini cassette Rat Bat. That way he can go under Soundwave, and maybe even make him a leader. Maybe let's see here. Let's do 2 cards. Like I sort of did with Dingbot, a small card and a big card, and have him be a leader card in a regular size, and maybe the half size mini cassette, so we can go under Soundwave, be added in with the other mini cassettes, or even Tempo, who I created. Mini cassettes can go under him. Oh my gosh, I've gone so long, but these are my ideas. And this is only G1 stuff. Only G1 stuff. I have not touched Animated, Armada, Red, RID, or Prime, or Beast Wars, or anything like that. And I would love to see some Beast Wars stuff. I just wish that Wizards of the Coast would sort of wake up and say, oh my gosh, our fan base was bigger. Maybe we should go back and do some more waves and test the waters and try again in 2021. That would be awesome. So, without further ado, I have gone way over time. So, I have just but one question to ask. Is Wizards of the Coast guilty or innocent? Innocent. So without further ado, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Hopefully, have a blessed evening, blessed night, or a great morning. And as always, flip out and let's roll for it.
Wait a minute, you said there was going to be a spoiler, didn't you?
Yes, thank you, Swindle. I sure did. And I was going to spoil a little bit of Swindle's abilities. I never did that, did I? And one possibility for his alt mode, that if you play Swindled, you can play another upgrade or an extra upgrade. So when you play Swindled, you draw 2 cards, scrap 2 cards and play an upgrade or something like that, or draw 2 cards, play an upgrade. When you're using Swindled, you can play 2 upgrades, and is what I have so far. That might change. In bot mode, he can hold 2 weapons with the word blaster in it. Because in his abilities, so sorry for this camera work, he uses 2 weapons. A scatter blaster that shoots burst of buckshot, blah, 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 and a gyro gun that disturbs balance, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, he can hold 2 weapons, but I'm only being able to let him hold 2 weapons with the word blaster in them, or any faction upgrade that is even for certain characters. So he could hold, he could use a noble blaster, but since it has the word blaster in it, he could wear 2 of them. Handheld blasters, he could have 2 handheld blasters. He could wear Optimus Prime's blaster, even though it says only for Optimus. He could still use it. Megatron's cannon, he can still use it, because, etc., etc. So he can use all the weapons in the game because of its Swindle. He is a munitions expert. That's what he is up here, and he's going to be able to use every weapon in the game, And if it's got the word blaster in it, he can put 2 of them on when he's in bot mode. Okay, no, they do not fall off. So if he's in bot mode, I can put on if he's got 1 blaster, I can put on another blaster. Well, heck, that's pretty strong. So he could be in alt mode. He could be in alt mode. We could. Now this is a stretch, but say we play brainstorm. We play brainstorm, and then a rapid conversion, along with a swindled card. Well, you have to do the swindled card first. And since I put on there that he can play an extra upgrade. No, I would want the swindle card, and then, no, that's right. So the swindle card would allow him to play an extra upgrade, but it doesn't have to be on him. It could be on anybody. So we could put an upgrade on him, and an upgrade on another character, and then the rapid conversion, you flip him to his other side. And if one of those 2 upgrades was a blaster, you can put another blaster on him if you have it in your hand. So you could put on two weapons on him in an instance like that. So really buff him up, even if they get knocked off before he defends or something by your opponent. But that I thought that was really neat. A really neat thing to do for Swindle. And like I said, I'm only spoiling this one character. That's it. Thanks again. Have a good night. And I've already done all the other stuff.
I do believe that we have gone over time.